And it is Brentford 0, Tottenham 2. Yeah, man. Spurs 2-0, bro.
You heard that right. Hey. People, you heard that right. We got a damn clean sheet. Spurs did not concede a goal today. We had a very young back line. And I think, like we touched on in the game, it was a hard-working performance, one that not many people expected. Ange changed up the tactical way that we approached the game, got really deep, defensively compact, and we just worked on, making sure that we just got those balls away, just kept deflecting, clearance after clearance, heading away those crosses. And look, we worked our way through it. It was 1-0 for a long moment of the game, for about an hour. And then, look, Sarr come on, good little move from Sonny, played the ball into the half space, and we got that second goal that eventually gave us that relaxation. It's nice.
Yeah, I mean...
14th in the table. How does it feel, Ash?
Who'd have thought, hey? Not me. But look, Tottenham did get that 3 points, and there's not really much to talk about. It was a game that lacked a lot of quality, in my opinion. In the final third, both teams flattered to deceive, and when we had our moment, we took it. I think that's what it boils down to. And shall we just talk about the goal straight away?
Yeah.
Because that was the difference maker. The first goal, of course, in the first half, it came from Son Heung-min, and it was one of those special whip crosses that he likes to do, man.
Yeah, one of those really good balls into the box where he whips it into that area where it's so hard for the keeper to get because it's within the 6-yard box. But a lot of players, as we saw against Tottenham last season, they took advantage of Vicario's weakness. And if you put a lot of players around the goalkeeper, it's going to create these moments of where we saw against Manchester United, Onana got confused. And then we saw yet again today, the keeper couldn't move in front. The ball goes off the back of Janelt's back. And look, sometimes you need it to be a bit lucky. You need the ball to fall into your way. And that's how we got the lead today. I mean, outside of that, did you think that Brentford were dangerous today? Was you ever scared that they were going to get that?
No, I didn't really see a lot of threat. I mean, in the first half, yeah, there were some moments where they were crossing balls into the box. They were doing diagonals. They were getting a few set pieces here and there where we had to defend. And I'm looking at the attacking momentum bar, meaning how much of the ball they had to create actual chances. It wasn't a lot of clear-cut chances, in my opinion. It'd be interesting to watch it back and to see, like, the actual chances they did have, like where Kingsley was tested. Yeah, I'm looking at it and I'm like, yeah, I saw 1 or 2 saves, but it was nothing where I was like, oh my days. I mean, Visa obviously did have a big chance,
big opportunity,
and he didn't take it.
Yeah, it's probably one of those ones where you'd expect him to equalise on every other day, but fortunately for us, he put the ball over the bar, and it did come from one of those crosses that were really dangerous. The ball just was falling to their players, and they had that one earlier, just before, where they were warning us straight off the back of that second half, and Kinski got to it. But look, I think we were really well to defensively be resolute, and like I said, not really open up too much and give them the opportunity to have those clear-cut opportunities, because every other game, I feel like every team opens up against us.
Yeah, I mean, considering the defence we had, and I know we've been playing with this back line for a while, I think the defenders did pretty well as a back line. You've got Jed Spence, who we gave man of the match. Sky Sports agreed with us. Then you look at the performance of the Archie Grays, the Ben Davies, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Archie Gray playing as a right-sided centre-back and a left-sided centre-back with a left foot playing in the right position. It seemed like it was working well. And then Porro, again, as you mentioned, he's not pushing too high up. Yeah. He's not getting caught in behind. So that's putting less pressure on all the 3 other centre-backs. It's not putting as much pressure on the midfield or whoever's playing the DM role. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? The fact that we had 2 experienced players in that position, Bentancur and Basuma, as opposed to Mata Papasar, and Bergvall. So that dynamic in itself, I felt we looked a bit more assured. Even though they did have a lot of the ball, it was just managing the energy, because I don't think we was as gung-ho in terms of pressing.
No, we wasn't.
Aggressive.
I think you saw in the second half when those players did come on, the Papsar and Bergvall, even it looked like the instruction was to not be so aggressive in those moments. Maybe take your time, and you're only going to press when they have those heavy touches, and we didn't really do that in the second half. I think the team got really compact again, and like you pointed on there, the midfield, Bentancur, his work off the ball was really good today. Constantly closing down, winning those 50-50s, because a lot of the time the game was full of it. It was a lot of 50-50s. It could have went either way a lot of the times, but we done really well in midfield to make sure that we won those battles. And Basuma, can't really say that he had a bad performance or a good one, but when he was on the pitch, moved the ball pretty well at times. I think could have done better. But Brentford, to be fair, you've got to give it to them. They was at home. They did make it really cagey. They have a really good home record for a reason, and it was a tough game.
It was. I know it's funny, but I looked at last season's stats as well, and again, we gave up quite a lot of possession against Brentford. But the difference is at home, we ended up beating them. Was it 3-1 we beat them?
Beat them at 3-1 this season.
Yeah. So I said it at the start, possession is not always key, and you can win a football game in different ways. And I think we showed that today. Because some people, we've been criticised saying, did we switch it up, or was it the opposition that kind of dominated us? And Brentford aren't really known for having like heaps of possession, if that makes sense. They're more of a team where they like to counter-attack.
Usually.
And so we kind of did the opposite. The only thing I would say to critique us is, which made sense because we do have tired legs and we don't have a lot of energy in reserve, is that when we did move up the pitch in the final third, we did look very poor.
Yeah, the quality was definitely lacking there, and I think you could look at it and say maybe the players were leggy. Definitely in Sonny's case, and maybe Kulusevski, they were lacking that quality in the final third. But I think it's one of those ones where it's clear to see, look, last final days of the transfer window, we need something to happen in that area. We do have players coming back from injury, but we're just lacking in that quality and experience. And
who have we got to bring on? There's no like explosive wingers or no one with real attacking threat to bring on to stretch the opposition. Do you know what I mean?
And we saw in the moment that we did, just there, Scarlett was the only player that we could bring on, and there's only so much he can do.
Yeah, but when Sarr did come on, because that was the difference, wasn't it? Sarr came on and just talk me through that goal, because we did mention about the build-up play and how patient we were, as opposed to being gun-ho and rushed. Yeah,
like you said, there was that moment when we caught them in the counter-attack. We could have, started to attack and really penetrate the back line, because I think it was a 4v5 at the time. But Bergvall wins the ball, just puts his foot on the ball to slow the play down, turns it back, works it back to the goalkeeper, and then we work the ball down that left-hand side where the team, because Brentford start to push up, then you start to see the team open up with spaces. So the ball comes to Sonny, one of those players come out of position, tried to press and into the half space. Great ball, to be fair. And this is one thing what we spoke about is during the game when people are saying, is Sonny finished? Is Sonny... I think these are the moments where you just start to see those experience, the IQ. He knows which passes to make.
The weight of pass.
And it was the weight of pass. Yeah, it was just so key into him, and Sarr just flicking it through the goalkeeper's legs. It was class.
Easier for Sarr to finish. He had less work to do. Sarr again composed in front of the keeper, puts it through his legs. And Sarr's been having a lot of criticism, and I'd be one of those people where I put a lot of critique on him as well, myself. I think like of late he has been sloppy in possessions, giving the ball away, but he had a knock, he had an injury of late. So you could argue that fatigue has settled in, and that's why a lot of our performances throughout the squad have been up and down. And there's been a lot of people we have looked at. I felt Kulusevski faded as the game went on, in my opinion. I don't know what you thought.
Yeah, no, I would agree. I think one thing I've noticed with Kulusevski a lot recently is he's definitely one of those players. I feel like he's dying on his legs, man. He's literally dying out there. He needs help. He needs rest, and there's only so much he can do. But as you do see, even in those moments, he does offer just that trickery which we don't have from any other player, and he can put a really good delivery into the area. So as much as he didn't have a great performance today, in some key moments, he done exactly what we needed.
Guys, do not forget to hit that like button. And also, if it's your first time watching, please do subscribe. Obviously, I've got my boy here, Durag Diaries. If you want to know where he is, make sure you check it out, Durag Diaries. You can catch me on Spurs Kings TV. I forgot to plug my channel as well, through the stream, but it is what it is. I'm still trying to do the job for the boys. We Are Tottenham TV is such an amazing channel, so do make sure you hit those likes as well. But it was a case for me of defence winning the game as opposed to attack winning the game. And do you think Ange is learning then on the job? Is he learning another side of his game? Did he have this side of him already? We just didn't see it, or do you think it's circumstantial? The reason why he's playing like this, like, what's your thoughts on it?
I think it's a bit of both. I think there's circumstantial due to the players we have available. He knows that he can't build out from the back and play the way he wants to play, and plus because we don't have that many players available, when we do have some of these players come back, I still think he's going to take this approach because he's seen this work. So one of our best performances this season was against Manchester City. We played this way exactly. You know, we got deep and exploded on the counter. But yeah, I would say that I lean on the defence today, and he's recognised that in a few games. Definitely recently, I'd say probably only over the past month, we've really started to see him make these tactical changes, start to pull the fullbacks inside a bit more to help the defenders, telling the midfielders to drop in and play in a double pivot at times together. So it's good to see these tactical changes. Sometimes they're not enough, but let's see, because the next game, again, we can only speak about it so much. He's coming up against this season, one of the best tactical managers we've seen. Arne Slot is been really good at making those changes, and he has a Liverpool team that makes adaptations every single game. And
we saw it there in that game as well. Thomas Frank was tweaking
Yeah,
during the game, like, and now we're like, Ange, can you tweak as well? I'm joking. But like we grinded out the result. In my opinion, it was an ugly kind of, not ugly, but it was that kind of rough around the edges type of win where, as I said before, we didn't really do too much in possession, but we did enough and we defended well. Especially that box, they were throwing balls into the box. Yeah. They were crossing balls in play. Corners, free kicks as well, and Kingsley as well, claiming some of those corners, punching the ball out. Richarlison heading the ball out, protecting that box. You've got, when Bergvall came on, he was doing well to defend those headers. You know, there's many more players I haven't mentioned that did a job. You know, and that's what you need. You need concentration throughout the 90 minutes. We were talking about managing the minutes as well.
Yes.
We got through like the first 5 or 10 minutes. Then we were like, can we see it through into the next 20 minutes? There was times when Brentford were on top, and I did see that we did play at the back a couple of times, and it got a bit spooky. I'll be real. Yeah. Like, I felt like goosebumps, like back in the day, where when Kingsley played it out and it didn't quite get to Basuma, and they got the ball and they got a chance off the back of it, I thought, is this a sign of things to come?
Yeah.
Or can we keep our nerve and hold on and play ourselves out of trouble?
I think, it was very, very similar to the way that those last, I'd say, 20 minutes, 30 minutes went in that Hoffenheim game, if you remember. Hoffenheim were just penetrating us. They were just constantly putting balls in the box, but they ended up scoring a few. This game felt like that, but at the same time, I feel like defensively we were a lot more solid, and like you said, Davies was really key to this performance and had done some really good work in that back line. Talking a lot, speaking to the players. At times, the high line was it was doing its thing, and there was some dangerous balls coming over the top when Brentford were playing over the press, but we managed to deal with it, and the pace that we had from our two fullbacks, they saved us.
I think the main takeaway for me is, and we've been seeing it as well, there hasn't been such an inversion. By the way, guys, if you guys agree or disagree with us, please make sure you come on and have your say, because this is post-match settings where you come along and you say what you've got to say, whether you thought Ange adapted, if you think Ange has been adapting anyway, or do you think Spurs played poorly today? Was it one of those ugly wins, or was it a great gutsy performance? Was it resilience? Like, how do you perceive this 2-0 win against Brentford? Should we be winning against Brentford? Like, what's your expectations? Can we get into that top 10 from here? Is this something where we can build off the momentum off the back of this? And more importantly, can we beat Liverpool? Because that's our next game. That's what I want to know. Can we take this performance to Liverpool? How are we feeling as a fan base? Do you know what I mean? We needed some positivity, and it's our second win back-to-back. But yeah, man, like, what's your thoughts, bro, going into Liverpool? I mean, we still are shy a few players. Like, you saw the nursery settings in the bench.
Yeah, man. Look, I'm feeling. I've been confident for this game for all month. Whether it's just because how we played in that first game and then going into this one, I'm just thinking. Look, I just keep reminding people like we don't need to win. We don't need to win this game, and so I think when we go into it, we hopefully Romero, Van der Ven play back. If not Van der Ven and Danso, we've got a new centre back pairing that we can look at and be a bit confident for. I feel like that we could deal with Liverpool's attack. They've got a few players missing. Mohamed Salah is always going to be a danger, and there's nothing where we can do to stop Mohamed Salah. But I think that they're going to make a few changes that we've seen in the last couple rounds of the EFL.
You say Spence versus Salah? Is that
that's what happened last time. I remember a certain man was in the back pocket. That's all I'm going to say. If Spence went home, he emptied out those keys, he emptied out that change, and then Mo Salah. That's all I can say.
I hear it. It's key battles going on. Gravenberch, obviously, against maybe one of our midfielders, meaning, maybe, I don't know, depends who starts in that midfield role. Today we had, Kulu was the main man. What did you think of also Mikey Moore? Because he did start on that right-hand side for us.
Yeah, I think Mikey Moore may have come off just because on that right-hand side he does struggle a bit. I think when he's standing up his man, that's when he creates moments and that's when he's really himself. But there was very limited times in that first half where we worked the ball out to that wing and he can sort of do that touchline play. I think on the left-hand side he's so much better because he cuts inside of his
He's
right.
the right foot,
He's more comfortable. But when he comes in on off the right, struggles a bit and struggles to find himself into that game. But
do you think that's why Brennan has some of that same issues? Because he's a right-footed winger on the right, not able to drift in and cut in the same way as.
I think,
or do you think it's a different? I'm not comparing the two, but I'm seeing a similar issue, if that makes sense. Where I spoke about earlier, Aston Villa, he was able to cut in on the right foot, beat his man, but on the right he doesn't cut in or he doesn't overlap as much, and you just saw it against Gray. Every time Moore got the ball, if he was going to take his man and stand him up, he would kind of use his left foot and then drive towards them as opposed to going on the outside to beat them.
I think with Brennan Johnson, for me, he's just very limited in his game in general. I think his crossing isn't that good. It's unreliable.
Because that floater ball that Moore did was
he's working it, and he can do that. I've seen him do that in the under 21s, and I've seen him do it for under 17s and Euros for England as well. He's got that on lock. Brendan Johnson can't cross that good consistently. He's not good at taking on his man and doesn't have the confidence to take on his man. His finishing is unreliable. I feel like sometimes he's decent with it, but a lot of the times it looks like the ball's just striking his foot and not the other way around. It looks like the ball's just fall into him. So for me, Brennan Johnson, I don't see a long-term career or future for him at Spurs, albeit that he can be a goal scorer. And I think that he really is or was supposed to be a number 9, but it's just been shifted out on the wing. And that's why you see a lot of his game is off the ball. It's his movement in the area and the places that he arrives into, not really the work that he's doing on the ball.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. But just going back onto Mikey Moore, I just felt like another senior appearance from him, another start as well. I think more minutes, he's only going to learn more, do you understand, about himself, him as a player, and the more he plays and goes against different opposition, he's going to learn about their weaknesses and stuff, what to do. So more for it. But I still would bring in, if we're going to bring an attacking option, if it's going to be, because I know they want a player that can play all 3 positions across that front line. Yeah. But I would like to have a right winger or a right forward that can go on the outside and that can be unpredictable. So if you want to go on the inside, you can. If you want to go on the outside, you want to can. And you can score goals too, not just assist. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? But I don't know if I'm asking too much from the club.
If the club's going to spend money and the club's got the money,
I don't think they're going to spend money. I'll be honest with you. I think it might be a loan deal. I know. I've got a feeling we've spent, because if you think about it, 12 million on what, Kingski?
Yeah.
And then what, this new signing, Danso, how much is that?
20 million. I think it's 20, but it's a loan with obligation. So, look, let's be honest here. it's pennies for a player that we've needed for a while. A position that we've needed to cover for 2 or 3 seasons now. So there's no excuse to not go out there and spend the money. And if they do, and I know it probably will be the story like you're alluding to in the summer. Look, we've signed a player in the January transfer window with the loan and obligation, so that's taken out of our summer budget. But
bro, but yeah, I think we've got some people waiting for us, man. Am I right? We've got a new. I was going to call him a customer, you know. We've got one of the fans. We've got one of the fans coming on, bro. And I'm going to say hello. Hello,
Farhan, man. How you doing?
Farhan, how you doing,
guys?
Man? Can I hear you?
I'm doing all right. It's not rare you see a Premier League win for us, so have to be in a good mood for sure.
Yeah.
How are you guys doing?
No, good, man. Like
3
you just
points,
said.
clean sheet. You can't complain.
Rare win, you know. It's a rare win. You got to take it while you can, bro. But talk to me about the game.
Clean sheet as well. Yeah. On the whole, I think it was actually a relatively professional performance, given the circumstances. I think we all kind of got really scared when we didn't see Mickey van de Ven, even on the bench for the starting lineup. Yeah. I think I read somewhere that Ant said that he's just taking like precautionary measures, measuring his minutes and whatnot. Which, hey, I mean, in hindsight, we won the game, so that was probably the right decision. He's going to be fit for Liverpool, you'd hope, probably partnering Danso. But for today's game, I think there's some standout performers. Jed Spence, man.
Class.
Oh my God.
Let's talk about it.
I cannot believe this guy was on the bench for, what, 3 months? 3 months,
Criminal.
4 months at the start of the season.
Criminal.
It is, honestly, like, I am pretty supportive of Ange. I have an understanding of the situation, but the Jed Spence decision, the more you see him play, it's the one that really bothers me. Because he's probably been our best fullback this season. Yeah. Like, undoubtedly.
Does the doggy get back in for you? Or does the doggy have the whole bench now when he's fit?
I think he does have. Well, the way I look at it is, you probably have to rotate Jet Spence on the left and on the right, because Paro also needs to. I don't know why we want to go for Disasi when if you're really gonna go for a defender, get a fullback. But in the event that we do get another center back, then I think Jet Spence is probably going to be rotated with both Udogie and Paro. However, when Udogie does come back, I do want us to give him a bit of rest, manage his minutes, not throw him in the deep end instantly. So I think as fans, we have some confidence now that, okay, if we don't see Udogie or Paro start, it's not going to be the end of the world, because Jet Spence has been phenomenal. Man of the match today, 100%.
Just on that Jet Spence, I'm reading the statistics, and it is 32 out of 37 accurate passes, 2 chances created, 3 out of 3 successful dribbles, 4 passes into the final third, 3 out of 4 tackles won, 5 clearances, 3 headed clearances, and 7 ball recoveries, man. What a performance.
All over the pitch.
All over
just
the pitch.
Causing problems.
Quality.
I don't remember the last time.
So go on.
I was going to say, I don't remember the last time I saw such a solid defensive performance from one of our fullbacks. Like, so convincing. It looked like he didn't get beat a single time, honestly.
Yeah, I agree, man. But who else stood out for you, man? Have you got any other people you want to talk about?
I thought Bentancur was really good in the middle, not even on the ball, like just a lot of the kind of 50-50s, as one of you guys mentioned. In the middle of the park, whenever Brentford would try to build up, maybe somewhat of a loose pass, Bentancur would always get the ball off of them. And that's honestly how we got a lot of our attacks. Bentancur winning the ball in the middle of the pitch, and we move forward. Because for a lot of that game, we were pressed into our box, forced to defend really rigidly. But Bentancur, I thought, did really well. I also thought Bissouma wasn't that bad today. Like, he was doing his part.
Yeah, I agree.
I wonder why he got taken off.
I think it was to manage minutes more than anything, because he was nursing an injury and they were trying to blood him in back slowly, in my opinion. But I'm sure we'll find out some more
He probably starts against Liverpool.
Yeah, that too.
Probably.
I think it probably will be that same midfield that starts against Liverpool. I don't think he takes a risk and drops any one of those because, defensively,
what about Bergwall?
Bergvall was good. Bergvall was good when he comes on, but I feel like sometimes you just need that experience in there.
Yeah,
It depends
he has
on
got a mistake in him.
Yeah, and I think it depends on the availability of who. If we do potentially sign someone to play on the wing, will Kulusevski play on the right hand side? Will he play in the middle? That is probably gonna choose what Ange does, because Kulu's position in the middle, he impacts the game more. But if you want to bring in, like you say, bring Bergvall in and put Kulu on the right, because we don't have someone else who's really impactful off the right.
I was going to ask that, yeah.
That's where the danger is.
I can ask a question, though, for both of you. Kingski or Vicario? Does Vicario come back right in? What's your thoughts?
What do you
For
think,
me
Farhan?
personally, I wouldn't start Vicario next game because I think what Kinski did really well in the reverse fixture in home when we won was a lot of the times when even we weren't able to, do our smooth build up, Kinski was able to lob that ball forward. I mean, we did have Dom Solanke, which was crucial for me in that game, but I still would start Kinski. I wouldn't want to throw Vicario into the deep end. Also from set pieces, like Van Dijk corner, I can just see it already. So I think I want to see Kinski get this game.
Talk to me about Son, man, because that's the big talking point,
Sonny.
Sonny.
For me, people have gone at him this season, and I admit he hasn't been his best by any means. But like, you look at the team, right? I don't know how he has been kind of one of the ones with taking the most blame. I get he's probably our most senior player, but he's been played 90 minutes every single game. Every 3 days he has to play 90 minutes. And for a player who's 32, gonna turn 33 in a few months, like, what do you expect him to do? And even on a day like today, when a lot of people were probably saying, he didn't take on his man, he didn't do this, he did that. Both of the goals we scored come off from Son. The one he creates, I guess, that situation. And then the second goal, that pass that I think Son has done a lot this season. Also, he did it a little bit at the end of last season to find Sar, who I thought had a brilliant cameo. Not cameo, but like the 30 minutes or so he played, he was quite good overall. But no, I think you're going to see a different Son if touch wood, we actually sign a winger and we give him some rest also when Odeberg gets back. But no, I think he's done his part this season, in my opinion. I know he's gone missing in some games, but we can't do this flip-flop where he has a good game and we all say Son's back, and then he has a bad game and everyone's on his back, like, oh, he's finished. Like, we have to maintain a little bit of consistency, in my opinion. Yeah, that's my take.
Ange ball or Conte ball? What did you see out there today? Was it is Ange adapting more and more? And
That's a good question.
Can we see this now as a regular feature from Ange? Has he learnt?
Well, I actually think he's been trying this for probably better part of over a month. This kind of we kind of play a little bit more pragmatic and know when to break off. And I honestly think that the only reason even if you talk to neutral fans, they're still saying, "Oh, Postecoglou's suicidal high line." You look at the last few defeats, like, I don't even think that they've been down to the fact that we played a high line. It's just been really poor individual mistakes in the middle of the park. Like, both against Leicester and Arsenal, we give the ball away like stupidly in the middle of the park.
Yeah.
And it's basically a copy-paste goal for the most part for both of the second goals. And I don't think we've been caught on the break as much. Maybe we've been a little bit lucky, but considering we don't have Van de Ven, who is so important to this system, I think we've actually defended relatively resolutely. No individual mistakes. I think Archie Gray needs so much credit. Like, he's a player who I think, coming from these kind of really difficult 2 months, 3 months stint that we've had, he's going to be so majorly, he's going to benefit so much from this time, especially if he wants to play 6.
Cool.
Football wasn't beautiful, but in my opinion, it hasn't been for a little while. I think he has been a bit more pragmatic. And hey, it worked today, so you gotta support it.
All right, Farhan, man. They're saying Farhan in. Yeah, forehand in,
Forehand
forehand
in.
Yeah.
You
Let's
to
see,
take
let's see.
Ange's job, man. No, big up to you, man.
Thanks for coming on, my broski. Love.
Yeah. Have a good one, guys.
You too, man. Enjoy the 3 points.
Cool, man. Is there anyone else so far? Guys, make sure you join us on this after show, this panel. Have your say, man. But yeah, man, like
Big game coming up soon.
There was a lot of talk, bro, about Spurs being relegated. A lot of fans were worried, like genuinely. And do you think this has helped to kind of like stop that type of speculation?
I wouldn't say stop the speculation. Spurs have got themselves in a decent position, you know, a win against a side that's above us, because that's something that you probably need in these moments. But at the same time, you do need to. You need to go on a winning run. You need to go on a winning streak. So we got a couple games coming up, and
Can we put a run together? I know it's a hard question.
It's because we got so many games in between each and every game that we're playing. So
The games we've got, the run we've got. Let me find it real quick.
I'm pretty sure. So you got Liverpool, Aston Villa, United,
got United
Ipswich,
after that, yeah.
City. I think that's the run.
It is.
So
but aside from the cups, I'm talking about league form, because the question was, like, can we put that aside now? Because a lot of fans were saying, I'm not sure Ange has got it in him to, for a relegation battle. Can we win it ugly? And today we did. And I'm looking at those next 3 or 4 games, and I'm like, how many points can we get against United, Ipswich, and City? How many points do you see? Can we go on a 3-match win now? We get to pick up 9 points.
We beat Man United and Man City before.
Ipswich
Beat them
away.
twice this season. I'm actually confident for the Man United game. I think the Man United game is going to be a bit back and forth. Probably that one might end up a draw, and you can get a win against Ipswich. City game's probably going to be where it's difficult, because they're looking at potentially signing again another midfield, and Nico Gonzalez from Porto could be coming in. So they're improving, and I mean they've got their game coming on against Arsenal pretty soon. So you'll see how that plays out and what type of team they're looking to bring forward, because Man City could be improving. This could be the same. They won't be the Man City that we played a few months ago.
Yeah. They would have wised up with the thought. So what we're going to bring. Be interesting type of battle to see what happens when we do play them. But yeah, I mean, moving forward as well, like, you expect Spurs to kind of park the bus then, like we did today. And will it be harder? Because Liverpool, their quality is in their front line. We saw against against Bournemouth yesterday. Bournemouth are an aggressive team. They're trying to pick them apart, but then Liverpool didn't play that well, but they just had enough quality just to see off the game. And is that a worry now, where it's a different opposition that we're going to play against? The level of quality is going to rise. Someone else coming in.
And so I think that game, which you're definitely going to have to worry. You're going to have to look out for what Liverpool can do and how dangerous they're going to be in those, because they only need 1 or 2 chances a lot of times. They only need 1 or 2, but we don't need to win the game. We don't need to win, but yeah, we've got someone new coming through.
Someone else has come to join us, man. Come in. What's going on, my bro? How you doing?
Guys, how's it?
Big yourselves up, man. Well, how did you think things went today, man? Have your say. What did you think of the game?
Yeah, I think it was good, man. I think it was good. What we asked for, isn't it? We wanted the 3 points. It doesn't really matter how we got it.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of us thought we're gonna get the 3 points. Come on, be truthful to yourself. Do you guys think we're gonna win this game?
No, I said a draw.
Yeah, we both predicted a draw. I think it was a tough game to predict beforehand.
No, I don't even think we'll get a draw, man. I thought like 2-0 loss straight. But yeah, I mean, what can you say about it? When I saw Van der Ven was out, I was like, okay, problems. But credit to Ange, I think in the long run we'll be happy that he spared Van der Ven for the Liverpool game. So yeah, I'm quite happy for that, man.
I'm looking out for more news, because it's interesting.
Yeah,
We
it's
bought
kind of
2...
weird, isn't it? It seems like the stuff he said also kind of like seems strange, almost like he maybe had a setback, maybe.
Yes, exactly. That's what I was alluding to.
Yeah, because he said that he's trying to manage his minutes, but at the same time, is it because something happened in that game? He did come off at half time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you'd think if he was fit, he probably would have played close to an hour, maybe.
Yeah. This this is the question because the squad, he wasn't in the squad today.
No.
He wasn't in the squad. Because if it was a thing where he was all right, you'd think, boom, he'd be on the bench.
Be on the bench.
We'd bring him on. Do you know what I mean? Because that's what we're trying to do, like bring him back slowly into the game. But he wasn't at all in there. So
maybe Ange was like, I'm not going to put him on the bench because then there's an opportunity for him to put him on, even though it's not necessary. Yeah,
what did you think of the
away?
What did you think of the centre back performances that we did have though, Davies and Gray? How did you think they fared up today?
Yeah, man, I'm just so glad it wasn't Dragosan. Bro, listen, I like him, and I think today's performance maybe would have suited him more. You know, the things he likes to do. This is more his type of game. You know, like being a box defender and all that type of stuff. But I don't trust him, man. I don't trust him. And in the long run, I think we should get rid of Radu. It might be a bit harsh, but I mean, I think we can all agree he doesn't really have the attributes we want from our centre backs. Like, I like Danzo, the guy we brought in now. I think he'll be decent. I've watched him play a couple of times for Lens. He seems decent, bro. He seems decent. He's quick. He's strong. But he's not the best. He's not Romero. I don't think he's like anywhere near Romero's levels. But he's better than Radu. A lot better than Radu. But I was happy with the centre back performance. Spence was good. He was really good. That's one thing I kind of do blame Ange on, because how has he not played him more? How has he not played this guy more?
Breaking news, by the way. Fabrizio Romano says Axel Di Sassi is not accepting Tottenham's bid. So, beautiful. The type of rejections, we do like. Arsenal just scored.
That's the one rejection I wanted. Oh, no. I don't want Alex Disaster playing for me. So, wonderful news.
Yeah, it's 1-0 to Arsenal. They're beating City at home at the moment. Hopefully.
But another thing I also say, man, I need to say this as well. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but we need wingers, man. Damn, we need
Lord. A man after my own heart. 100%. That showed today, I lie. Today, you could see we had nothing up there. Like, literally. Yeah, we had Mikey Moore, obviously, on the right wing, whose preference is on the left wing. And we had Son, obviously, playing on the left. And it just wasn't really showing any attacking intent or attacking threat.
People think I'm like... I'm not saying Son is washed, because he's not washed. Son is good. He has a lot of quality still. But the thing is, Son has quality in situations where he has to put in a ball. Or I won't even say necessarily finish these days, because we've seen him miss a couple of chances. He won't miss. He didn't necessarily miss last season. He's definitely not on top form, but finding good passes and that type of stuff, he's still mint there, man. But the thing is, I don't know about you guys, but every single game we played against any Premier League opposition, the wingers are better than ours. I'm talking about Leicester's wingers. I'm talking about Brentford's wingers. I'm talking about Everton's wingers. Anybody, the wingers are better than ours. It's just what it is. We don't have wingers. And the thing is, Mikey Moore is a good player. But first of all, he's a left wing. And even when he's on the left, he still isn't refined enough. He isn't. He will. I think he'll get there. But he's young, man. He doesn't have that X factor. That's why I'm so like. I won't even get another defender if I was, the recruitment team. If I was Lange now, Langer, whatever his name is, I'll go target a winger. Someone that can make a difference. Not bloody, what's this Noah Okafor? No, man. Like a winger. So obviously, we won't bring in...
Hell no.
No. I don't want Noah Okafor, bro. It's meant that you go watch a compilation of a player, and even by the comp, you're like, no. So,
saying a lot.
I don't know.
Noah's Ark. No. We don't want that.
Basically Noah's Ark. But he wasn't on the ship, bro. He wasn't on the ship. He was left behind. Been drowning ever since. So
he's injured anyway. He's injured. He's got a hamstring injury. Ironic, eh?
Ooh, Noah. Yeah, I
Yeah,
see. He'll fit right in, bro. He'll fit right in. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know, man. I don't know. I'll take any winger now. Well,
Well,
I'm saying any winger, but anybody that I mean, the profile is so easy. Just someone that can beat him, man. I mean, when was the last time you've watched someone in a game? First, I'm not speaking about Europa League because I mean, in Europa League you can look even Dane Scarlett can look like a top player in the Europa League. Not saying he isn't, but you know, like these guys are still young. It's not that good of a competition, basically. You know,
hey, would you take
so
Solomon back? Everyone's talking about Solomon in the comments. Would you take him back?
take who back?
Solomon.
Solomon, yeah, I'll take Solomon back. I know there's a lot of stuff surrounding it, but when it comes down to football and needing someone to do something, bro, the guy's got 6 goals and 6 assists in like since he's been there. That's decent. We have nobody that can beat this man. Nobody. We don't have anybody that has, I think, what, more than 5 assists. I don't know. We need someone that can beat the man. When was the last time we saw somebody on the left or on the right consistently beat a man in the Prem? Not Son in Europa League against Elfsberg. Yeah, and everybody was buzzing after he beat his man 10 times in one game or in one half. That's great. But he didn't beat his man once today, did he? So I don't know. We just need someone. He doesn't even. I like that. What's that winger? Eden Zagrova. I don't even know, but he looks proper.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know,
he's a baller, fam. I saw him against Real Madrid. I was
Yeah.
like, quality.
I'll try someone like that. He doesn't have to cost, millions of pounds, but just someone that can get past his player, put a ball in.
Are you happy with the performance today? Because obviously, I have to frame it in a different way because I know we won 2-0, but the amount of times Brentford were allowed to break into our box, was that alarming to you? We didn't really look like, because Ange Ball's all about attacking, being in possession. We didn't really have any of that today. So was there a point where you were watching a game and you were like worried that Brentford could cause us some problems?
The whole game. I mean, we're Spurs fans. The thing is, we've been watching this type of football for almost 2 years now. We know we're open at the back, always, on both flanks, always open. So, I mean, but I am impressed though. Like, I think today was a proper defensive performance. The wing backs or the full backs weren't that high up today. I don't know if you guys noticed, but Porro and Spence
Yeah,
were.
we did touch on that.
Yeah.
And the defense was decent. We weren't that high up even. And I mean, you can see it by the stats. We had like 48 or 46% possession, which
That's
is
right.
a lot lower than we usually have. I mean, so you know what I mean. So I don't know. It's quite hard. I think the thing is, am I happy with the performance? I think I guess I would say I am because I think let's be
Clean
real.
sheet.
If we went
Clean
out
sheet.
and we played. Yeah, no, I'm happy. I'm happy for the clean sheet. That might not happen again for the rest of the season. So yeah, I'll take it. I mean, the thing is, I mean, we all know that if we went out there playing the football we usually play with the team we have now, we lose this game.
Yeah, it's true.
No.
I think
It's
so.
true, man.
I think so. I think so. And we still could have. I mean, let's be real, man. There's a lot of stuff that happened in the game that could have. I mean, that Vissa missed chance. They had like what 20 shots and like 10 on target. They had like expected goals of like 2, almost 3. So I think we were lucky. We were riding our luck in some cases, but I do believe that was a very good defensive performance, the best I've seen in the since last year. I don't know. Maybe this was the best defensive performance this year. Yeah, I mean, like this season. But I don't know. We have to build on this, man. I don't know. And I need us.
I
I
agree.
need us to win Man United, because if he goes to Man U and he comes to dunk on us, man, that can't happen. We have to kill Man United off.
Really,
Let's
I don't know
hope
if he
so.
suits their system anyway.
Yeah.
I'm skeptical about Toa at Man United anyway. So
Yeah.
I'm not
He
too
won't
worried.
fit. He's going to play left 10. It's not going to happen. He's not going to play.
Yeah.
He's not going to play on the wing. They don't play wingers. What's he going to play? Left wing back, striker. He might play striker, But
Yeah,
the
I
thing
reckon
is,
striker.
the
I reckon
one
he'll be
thing.
striker.
Yeah, well, the one thing, I mean, I don't know if you realize, if you guys saw the stats and stuff about Tal, the one thing that he isn't that good at yet is his like finishing. Like
Yeah.
he finishing isn't that decent yet. He
That's
might
why I
become.
didn't think that we needed him. I think we needed a player with a bit more class in the final third, someone that can really impact the game there. And just like you pointed out there, he's young, he's a bit raw. Manchester
raw.
United, and that's why I'm not really worried about if he does go to Manchester United. I don't think he's going to pull up any trees over there. I don't think he's going to be the guy that's going to
marksman.
He's not going to bridge the gap between them and top 10 right now. Manchester United are not in a good place, very similar to us, but we got the 2-0 win today, and that's the most important thing. Like you pointed out, riding on your luck and sometimes just being defensively resolute and just getting through it, just getting through the game.
I think we were definitely hard to beat today, because that's the thing I'll say about today's game. Usually, we can play good, we can play well, we can set up well, whatever, but we're never hard to beat. It's always one ball over the top or one ball this way, and it's a goal for them. But today we were quite solid and hard. We were hard to beat. These guys didn't score. So I think we have to take a lot of this forward. Ange has to use this, because we're definitely not playing like we were playing last year against Chelsea, where Ange said, even if we have 5 men on the field, we'll still have a go. We're definitely not playing like that anymore. Ange is clearly seeing that, that I don't have I don't have that kind of time anymore. He knows he's on the chopping block.
Yeah. Bro, thanks for calling up. Appreciate your time as well. And as always, man, come on, you Spurs.
Yeah, come on, you Spurs. Levy out. Let's go.
Peace. Do we have anyone else on the line? Yes, we do. Let's go wait for them to come in, man. But yeah, make sure, guys, we are here on the live match reaction. Make sure you like and you do subscribe if it's your first time here. Me and George are just filling in at the moment for Ben and Sim, Benjamin and Simeone. But yeah, man. Bring on the next one. I'm ready for it, man. Let's see who's next. Who is it? It's my boy?
He's on mute, but...
You're on mute still. I can't even hear you. What's going on? Hello? Anybody home?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now, man. I can hear you.
Yeah.
How's it going, bro? Who's that, Mark?
Yeah. Mark me.
What's happening, Mark? Talk to me, man. What have you got to say? What have you got to say about today, man? Talk to me, man.
I don't know. Yeah, I do know, actually.
What did you think of the game? You loved it?
Well, let me put this thing in the right frame.
Yeah, go on. I can hear you.
Hold on a sec. Let me put this thing in the right frame.
No, your audio's good anyway, so I don't even need to see you like that. The audio sounds crisp.
It was. I thought that was our best performance of the season, actually.
Break it down. Tell me why.
Because when you think about it, believe me, I'm out, but skeptical. I've always been Levy out anyway, because of what we've been through. I'm a supporter for well over 40 years, even though I might not look it.
Jeez, okay. All right, unks.
No, seriously, I mean, my son's 28 and he supports Spurs. So
all right, say no more.
That tells the own story.
Yeah.
But that was a great performance, because what I saw from a footballing point of view was, look, you have to break it down. You have to get everybody in line, and you have to just calm the storm. We know that when you go away to any ground in the country, they're going to come at you. And then what you have to do is calm the storm. And then what we did was calm the storm and then score. And then it was about after that. That was the point, which made me feel, no, Andrew's not the greatest manager in the world. In fact, he's shit. But he has managed to produce one of the best games of his season before a semi-final of a cup, which I've seen. And believe me, I was there the last time we won the cup. I was there. And it's a great feeling. To all you young people, it's a great feeling.
Yeah. So does that give you hope then, going into that cup
It does.
semi-final?
It gives me hope only because of the way, which I've been saying with, and we are Tottenham boys, like, you know, there's a lot of us that I know, and Arsenal boys as well, that we know from years and years and years. Over 45 years, I've been supporting Spurs. My God, this is the feeling when you look at football. Football is not played on EA Sports. Football is the eye test. Yes, it's not played on stats. No, because certain players can be good in moments. So
That's
where does
correct.
stats go? Certain players can be bad on moments. Where does stats go? Football is not played like that. So with Tottenham Hotspur, football all my life supporting this side has been played on moments. I remember when we won the UEFA Cup, the European UEFA Cup. I remember when we won the FA Cup twice in a row in the 80s. I mean, come on. And then you've got older fans that will tell you, oh my God, I remember when we won the double in the 60s and shit like that, the 50s. I mean, come on. Football is not played on stats. Eye test.
So for you, talk about eye tests. Who for you stood out? Who was the eye test? Who was the one that impressed you?
The eye test was, of course, Ben Davis, right? Archie Gray, Jed Spence, Pedro Porro. I don't think is good enough, but he's good going forward. Lucas Bergvall are called to be brought on in the second half, and he was. But I thought Bentancur wasn't good enough.
Okay.
But he stayed on. Bissouma as well. I thought no, he was like okay, but he's hit and miss.
Yeah.
I thought that Son should have came off and been rested, and then Mikey Moore moved to the left, because obviously he's obviously good cutting in on his, because some players are cutting in when they're right-footed.
Yeah.
And he should have done that. But then all of a sudden, people are saying Kulusevski, yes, been a great player, but Kulusevski throughout the game drifted to the right, and I couldn't understand that.
That's what he does. That's what he does.
But because Mikey Moore wasn't that comfortable on the right, although he was good. But I was like, shift him to the left, because some players who are right-footed are good on the left. But what I am saying is that we can't keep giving these players fucking excuses. And I don't give players excuses when they can't use both feet.
Yeah.
They can't use both feet. Now, if you don't want to go back to back in the day shit and all these players that we've had all these great players that we've had, like the Klinsmans, which you lot might remember,
Yeah.
the
Jurgen,
Paul
Jurgen.
Gascoigne, which you lot might remember, the Glenn
Mhm.
Hoddle, which you lot might remember,
Mhm.
the Van der Vaart, which you lot might
Mhm.
remember. I
Mhm.
mean, come on. What did they do? They had both feet.
Yep. Ginola as well.
2-footed.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
So,
think it's rare to find some of those players like that on the wings at the moment. And with
yeah,
the
because
options we
we play
have,
it on EA Sports, don't we? Because we play it on EA Sports. What players, two-footed, have we got?
Possibly, well, I don't know. Odeberg's meant to be that guy, isn't it? Odeberg's meant to be 2-footed.
Yeah. And Bergval, two-footed.
Yeah, yeah. Both, yeah.
Oh, I mean, Revbat Son. Oh, yeah, two-footed. Harry Kane. Oh, yeah, two-footed. Because you just train players on 2 feet. I don't get it. I don't get why we go a left-sided person or a right-sided person or a this.
Yeah,
What is
yeah, I
that
get what you're
all
saying.
about?
I get what you're
What
saying.
is that all about?
There was none of that
What
back in the
is
day.
that all about?
Hmm.
How many times are we going to say it? It doesn't matter if it's Spurs. Now we go, oh, we need a right-sided defender, a left-sided defender that can play left-sided. So if we don't want a left-sided or right-sided winger to play left or right, what is the difference when we, as Spurs fans, cry about, oh, but we need a left-sided defender or a right-sided defender? So what is the
I
difference
think it's just a
with a
case of
winger?
when you look at the new way that football is played and like the systems and stuff.
What is
It's
the new way?
easy. It's
Can
with system.
someone tell me the new way
It's
of
this.
football?
Yeah, it's the systems, Mark. More systems are implemented.
What
Football
systems
is not
are there
relied.
that is new?
The footballs aren't relied upon to be played in so much individual quality. It's more about the team game now. It's more about what the team is doing as a whole and the positions that they're taking up on the
So
pitch.
still, I'm going to ask you the same question. What is the new system?
I said new systems, so it's mean that all the new systems that are in place, none of the way that you see football played now and how the managers are tactically setting the teams up, this wasn't in place 20 or so years ago. So when you refer to like the Klinsmans, the Ginnelas, and when they were playing, the way that football was played was a lot more open because it was more relied upon the individual quality.
I'm going way back to the Ozzy Ardiles, the Glenn Hoddles, the Mickey,
I get your point. I get the point that you're making. I'm just.
Thomas, the Tony Galvins, etc., etc. So tell me, can you please tell me, because I can't understand, what is the new system of football?
I think the analysis and the technology surrounding players,
Oh,
they
the
look
analysis.
at the over analysis where coaches now they've got so much backroom stuff. When they're trying to critique and find someone's weaknesses, they're like, that player, if you
So
look
what
at his
is the new
first touch.
system?
No, but I'm just talking about what they would do to the individual, because the way we
So what is the
defend
new
now,
system?
the way we defend now, okay, so some of the systems aren't new, some of them are throwbacks, but there's so much analysis and there's so much going into defending now. It stops individuals from performing.
Sorry,
Go on.
cut you
Go
off.
on. Go on.
But
Go on.
so the analysis
I'm here for this, by the way. Go on.
is that when you used to have like a Mickey Thomas, etc., blah blah blah, back in the 80s, right? So what they never used to do was be able to run down the line and cross the ball, which they did. Which they did. That's a normal part of football. It's about who can set up a team to be able to see an opposite. The thing that has changed in football, let me get on to this, is that we've got more video technology.
Yeah, that's right.
Actually scan a player and see what they can do. It's not about oh my God, they've got the highest percentile in tackling. Bullshit. So are you telling me in 19, what is it? When what
Yeah.
1977, 97?
All right. So watch this.
When we had Osvaldo Ardiles, who was one of the best midfielders in the world, and no one took him. Is that not from someone scouting him, or is that
But
from?
Mark, this is the thing that I think you're missing though, is when we're talking about the techno.
There's not a point to be missed.
No, but Mark, you're missing the point that the technology and the systems are doing the scouting work for the scouts. So the scouts don't have to go and watch the players necessarily.
And that works.
Well, that's what we're seeing is that at Tottenham in particular, they've implemented a more data-driven model that is working for some teams. It does work.
So is that what Man City are using? Is that what Liverpool are using?
Yeah, Liverpool
Yes,
are
and
using
all the
that
top
massive-
teams
yeah,
are
they
using data.
But what I would also say is,
so
back in
Man
the day,
City- so Man
back in the
City
day,
and Liverpool have,
and I watched
have
this.
been successful because of your virtual scouting network. Is that what you're saying to me?
I'm saying football has changed. Remember back in the day, it was 4-4-2. Remember that?
Do you
remember
has Man City been successful because of your virtual scouting
Yes.
network?
Yes,
or
part
no?
of it. Yes, that's been
And
part of it.
What is
Yes.
the proof of that?
Monchi, not Monchi. What's his name?
Cheeky.
Yeah.
Cheeky.
And they're going to give up, and then Man
So-
City and Liverpool are going to give up the
Yeah,
secret
Liverpool. You see
online of
Liverpool.
What you lot say are the fucking network. I mean,
Mark, come and learn. Mark, learn. Come and learn. You see Michael Edwards. Guess where he was before he went to Liverpool?
Incredible.
Look, he was at Tottenham. Michael Edwards was at Tottenham before he went to Liverpool. He left, him and Kamali went over to Liverpool, and they had data analysis, and they took that for Liverpool. Remember when Liverpool overtook us? The reason why they overtook us is because they used the data analytics. Yeah, Kamali, yeah. Damien Kamali. Damien Kamali, yeah. And Michael Edwards were former Tottenham employees, went over to Liverpool, had the data...
used it.
And who did the data identify?
The data identified
Sadio.
No, but you're missing the point.
And
You're
what did
missing-
Kamali say about
Mark.
See,
Spurs?
at that period when they overtook Spurs, do you
Oh,
remember when
my
they overtook
goodness.
us? Do you remember when they overtook us, Mark? Do you remember when
Yeah.
they overtook us?
Yes.
What players did they get in? They got in Mane, yeah? That was through data. They got on a Mo Salah.
No, it's not. That's called.
It was Mark. It was
No, it
data
wasn't money.
that identified those
it
players.
wasn't money.
I don't know. Wait, but Mark, I don't know if you're aware.
Mane came in through money.
No, Mark.
money.
They identified him through the data, and I don't know if you actually know, but at the time, Klopp didn't even want Mane. Klopp identified Julian
Exactly.
Brandt. He
He was pushing
identified
against
other
him.
players that he wanted, but Michael Edwards, yes, Mark. Wait, Mark, give it a second. Michael Edwards and the data team, they overruled him and said, "This is a player that we're going to."
That's where they fell out. That's where they fell out as well.
So Van Dijk came in through data. Is that what
You're now but we just said Mane. Why are you changing it to Van Dijk?
So virtual.
No,
Hey,
Mark. Stick to
focus,
Mane.
focus,
Let's
Mark.
focus.
Focus,
Not
focus.
Mane. Not
Focus.
Van Dijk. We're talking about Mane.
One player.
No, it's not
No,
one player.
because now you're just gonna keep changing.
Salah's
to
another one.
Find a player that he didn't.
Salah was another one.
Bell coming to our club.
You're going back way 20
How
odd years
did-
ago, Mark.
how
We're not
did
talking
Gareth
about
Bale-
then.
Gareth Bell went that much before fucking Mane.
No, but Mark, you just said, Mark, you're now changing your point and you're not making sense because
No,
at first you
don't
said
take
no,
my point.
Mark, because
How
at
did Gareth
first,
Bell come to our...
no, Mark, wait,
I'm
Mark,
making my point.
no, Mark, but if you have to let us finish. You can't ask the question and keep asking it. Let us finish, please. When
No, I
you say
didn't.
Gareth Bell, you asked us a question about today's football and how the data has changed today's
Yeah.
football. We've explained that, and then now you're going back to Gareth Bell 20 years ago. That we don't need to talk about Gareth Bell. We're talking about how data has changed football today, and that what we're talking about. So Sadio Mane
but
is
all
the
these
earliest
but-
representation of a big club
Yeah.
using data
But
to
all
identify
you
a top player
Tottenham
that pushed them on to
fans-
be a
but
top
all you
team.
Tottenham fans are crying about the new way you're doing it, but the new way it's not working. But how did Gareth Bell get to our club? Was that through your data?
Mark, we're just going to keep going around in circles here.
No, but you know what? Mark.
You haven't said a valid point.
No, but listen. I'm not defending this whole data-led approach, by the way. don't ever get it twisted, brother. You know what I'm saying? I hear what you're saying. Like, I do like the old school way where you get your scouts to go out, look at a player, which I still think they do. Do you understand? But all we're saying is, you were asking what has football changed? Why have you got a right-sided player with a right foot and a left-sided foot on the left side and the left side?
One of the biggest scouting networks in the world is done with from the USA with like basketball, etc., and American.
Yeah, that's correct.
So, tell me which players with basketball, the best players, have been done with data.
I don't watch basketball like that, so I couldn't even tell you.
There you go.
Do you understand? But the point still remains that
I'm sorry, Mark. You can't say there you go and you're on Mark. You're on a Tottenham show and we're talking football and you've asked us about basketball and NFL. We don't watch that. We watch football and that's why we're here talking about football, Mark.
I'm a Spurs fan for 50 years.
I know, but you've asked us about basketball. We don't have a clue about basketball.
You haven't been to a winning cup final, have you?
I have.
Wait, what is your point that you're making, Mark? That doesn't. What is the point you're making of this?
Is the data-led shit is not working.
For Spurs, yeah, we can say that. We can say that for Spurs, yeah, because we're not really winning shit. So I'm out here trying to defend the data-led approach, because I'll be with you. I'll be like, listen, that data-led thing. I'm saying, no, you asked us about right-footed player on the right side, left-footed player on the left side, and I didn't disagree with that. I'm just trying to merely explain to you which way football's going. Do you know what I mean? And why it's going that way. That's all. But I'm not trying to say Spurs. I'm saying Spurs are doing up PR. That's the way I'm looking at it, because if they're copying Brentford and they're copying Brighton, that's a backward step. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody says that Spurs are so damn.
Yeah, I'm not everybody, broski. I'm not everybody.
And I've been there where Spurs are so damn shit.
Mark, I think we hear you, and look, we understand your point that you're making. I guess, can I just ask, is there any final words, just bringing it back to today, is there any final words that you do have on today's performance and how today was in particular?
The best performance of the season.
Is that just your final words, yeah? Best performance of the season?
It's the best performance of the season. Trust me, because look at the way they defended, and that's all you got to do.
Fair enough.
There was no tricks in there. There was no data in there. There was no XGs in there. It was just dogged, defended, and get the second goal and get the win. And that is football.
Yeah, I agree, man. And I agree, man. But yeah, Mark, thanks for coming on. Thanks for having your say, man. Take care, man. Love as always, man. Love and manners, man. Respect, bro. Respect. Cool, man. Any other callers? All right, we're going to wrap it up, man. Because, big up, man. We got the 2-0. We got the 3 points. Big up for everyone that came on. It was an interesting show for us.
Big 3 points. First match reaction. First live watch along together. We got the big 3 points, man. 2-0 and a clean sheet. So no complaints. Big up to everyone inside.
Yeah, man.
Big up to everyone inside.
And as always, come on, you Spurs, man.
Come on, you Spurs.
Big up.